will go Crashman next. Crashman's cool. He's got what look like drills for hands, but I think they're actually explosive launchers. And his level theme is pretty iconic too. Seen a lot of good remixes of this one. Sort of like a factory, I guess? I don't know exactly what the stage setting is for Crashman. Kind of seems like a city or some sort of industrial complex, maybe? Hard hats, or I think they're called Mets in some of the other games, Metals. Those would become a reoccurring enemy in Mega Man series overall. They might have been in the first one. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't remember. But I do know that the hard hats show up in pretty much every game, even the spin-off ones later. Could farm up some power-ups here, but I think I'll just keep moving. This particular section with all of the infinitely spawning enemies is a good place to use the metal blades, since you can pick them off from all angles. Though we'll see sort of retooling of this concept in this particular type of screen later on in the game. Now we are up near the clouds, sort of the top of the complex. Crashman's stage is pretty vertical compared to some of the other ones. You end up scaling a lot of obstacles and whatnot, and you keep ascending versus moving left to right. Or right, yeah, left to right, like a lot of the other stages. And as we go higher, the screen gets darker. I don't know what the significance is of that. I don't know if it's supposed to be like the passage of time, or just maybe we're going into space. It's very possible too. Maybe this is like a orbital platform that Crashman lives on. You can see the stars are behind us, so maybe we're headed to space. And that energy tank would be useful to have, but I don't think I have a secondary weapon that'll allow me to get back up to the platform, so I'm just gonna skip it for now. But we get a 1-up. And these prop guys will show up in some of the other levels as well. They also infinitely spawn and keep dropping in on you. It'd be good to get some health in them. How many lives do I have? 4? That should be fine. Not really in danger of dying against these bosses. And Crashman's weakness is the air shooter, I believe. Crashman's deal is he runs around and shoots explosives at you. That wasn't a very good demonstration. I forgot the air shooter kills him that fast, but basically he jumps up and down and shoots these time bomb things that latch onto the ground and explode, which is a pretty neat weapon. But as you can see, using the right weapon against him causes him to get murdered relatively quickly. But his weapon's the Crash Bomber, which I'll probably be able to demonstrate next. Who do I want to fight next? I guess I'll go Heat Man and we'll do Quick Man last. A little Easter egg here: if you hold down the A button on the select screen, all the little stars turn into birds. I don't remember where I learned that. Probably Nintendo Power back in the day. For Heatman's stage, I think he's supposed to be kind of like a sewer base that's full of lava. You can see the prop guys from Crash Band's stage are back here. Different color, but they behave the same way. I think I will go back to the Metal Blade and use it to pick off these spinning blue guys. I don't want them knocking me off the platforms. If I fall in the lava below, that's an insta-death hazard. So I want to be a little bit careful with my jumps here. I think these last two stages, both Heatman and Quickman, have some of the toughest platforming obstacles in the game so far. And Heatman's stage introduces the disappearing blocks in this particular game. One of the most infamous hazards of the Mega Man series, disappearing blocks. I know they've reused that concept in multiple games to varying frustrating degrees, forcing you to sort of memorize the pattern of the jumps and the timing, since not all of them appear and reappear with the same timing. I guess I'll demonstrate Crash Band's weapon here. These 4x4 or 2x4 blocks, which look like Tetris blocks, if you use the Crash Bomber, you can destroy them and open up a path, which will be useful later on, as I'll demonstrate. But this is one of the more difficult parts of the game. I'm gonna maybe attempt this once or twice, and then I'm gonna cheat because I don't want to be stuck here for a long time. You have to memorize the pattern exactly, or you get dumped right in the lava and it's going to go over a pitfall. But now's a good time to demonstrate item 2, which is the jet sled. I want to do it from a little bit higher up, that way you can sort of demonstrate the rest of this hazard I'm going to be bypassing. Throw it out, and you can ride it, and it'll keep going until it hits a wall. As you can see, all that has to be memorized. Or you could just be a dirty cheater like me and bypass it that way. We could also demonstrate item 3 while we're here. This one, if you throw it at the walls, it climbs vertical surfaces, and it'll just keep going until it hits the top of stuff, and I don't think I can cancel it. That one is not quite as useful as the jet sled, but it does have its uses. But the use of that weapon to bypass the platform puzzle here is pretty famous use. It's one of the reasons why it pays to do the bosses in the order I'm doing, so you can use their secondary weapons to cheat. And this is Heatman. He's sort of a Zippo with arms and legs, and he tosses fire at you, and turns into fire and shoots straight across the screen. And as you can see, he's really weak against the bubble lead. It destroys this guy pretty thoroughly. Here we get the atomic fire, which I'll demonstrate when we get to the next level. But just like the previous ones, we get a secondary weapon. This is going to be item 1. I do think it's interesting that they don't tell you what the items do when they give them to you. They leave it up to the player to sort of experiment and figure out the uses of the items themselves, which is interesting.